you look around one day in the afternoon, there is dirt all around with a line formed by the vegetation at a certain height. The ground itself is riddled with cracks that look like it would belong on the back of a reptile. Just a couple years ago, there used to be no cracked dirt but a murky green water that was in place. Fish would jump out of the water to capture unsuspecting bugs that got too close to the water. The vegetation showed a lively, vibrant color that would only appear in dreams. Now it is a dust bowl taking on a more golden color, a dying color. The cause of the scenery to go bleak is from not receiving enough water to keep the lake afloat. From the article of Dramatic Photos of Californian Historic Drought, here is a lovely photo of Lake Oroville in July 20th, 2011. And now here is a photo taken in August 19, 2014. As you can see, the drought has taken an effect on the water system that California has. Today, I want to talk about the effects that surround the drought in California and what government and private companies are doing about the drought. The drought has put a strain on the water system and water levels in California. With the years of little to no rain, California is facing a jeopardy with its water system. An article written in the American Meteorological Society says that there has been less water in the early 2013, with the first month of January receiving only 28% of its normal annual water, while in February it only received 15% of its normal average water during that month. One of the causes for the little amount of rain to occur is from the storms that have been greatly reduced by the high pressure system located in the Pacific Ocean. Storms would travel to the west coast. Another water source from the water of resource of California, which is being affected by the drought, is the snowpack region. The snowpack it accounts for 1/3 of our water supply. And right now, the snowpack region is 0% as of 10/18/2015, reported by 98 stations of California with snow sensors. From the data exchange on the Department of Water Resource website, one reservoir with the Feather River supplying it is called Lake Oroville, located at 670 feet of elevation. It has a capacity of 3.5 million AF, which AF stands for acres feet. As of 10/14/2015, 1.042 acres feet. As of there, 1.042 acres feet has been stored. Its last year recorded data of said date stored only 1.043 acres feet. Another reservoir that is supplied by the Stanislaus River is called New Melones and has a capacity of 2.4 million acres feet at an elevation of 800 feet. While its current storage has only 274,000 acres feet. That is roughly around 11% is filled. Its last year storage was 500,000 acres feet. The last year percent is roughly around 21 to 22% filled. So there is a decrease of 10 to 11% between the years. These two rivers have been supplying less water during the recent years of 10/14/14 to 10/14/15. Here is a photo of what the reservoir are of now as of 10/14/2015. As you can see, there's New Melones with its historical average, when it's usually measured. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. From the data, now the study is known of the drought has on the water system. Here is what the government is having the private companies, our water companies, are doing about it. The government has put controls and regulations throughout California, which mainly affect the water companies, which in turn they have to put regulations and controls on their clientele. On the Yorba Linda Water District website, there are different stages for the conservation. Stage 1 is one irrigation limited to 3 times a week with no more than 15 minutes of watering. Stage 2 is limited to 7 months of 3 times of watering, while 2 times for the other 5 months. Leaks must be corrected within 2 days of notice from Water District. Third stage, irrigation limited to 7 months with 2 times of watering per week, with 1 time watering for the other 5 months. Reflowing more than 1 foot of water is in a resident pool is prohibited. Stage 4 is illegal to water at all. The first violation of the restriction is a warning. The next one is $100. The third one after that is $250. And the continuous violations after that is $500 with a possible of having your water bill or your water services removed completely. Right now, the Yorba Linda Water District website states that they are in a stage 3, so they need to conserve 20 to 35% water from your last 2013 water bill usage. That is not all, or all the private companies are trying to do in order to conserve, in order to encourage people to conserve the water. The government is also trying to create more alternatives to get fresh water, and companies are deploying creative technologies to help conserve waters from leaks and damages in the water infrastructure. One article from the engineering and technology says specialized acoustics technology may help the drought-stricken state of California save millions of liters of water a year. The idea behind of using this acoustic technology is to have 2 sensitive microphones on either side of the pipe to listen for any type of leaks that might occur. And to have it fixed at that point with the minimum amount of money to cost, and also with the water use. They also have developed a snake-long tube-like object that allows them to have a camera and some really sensitive microphones to actually see the cracks or leaks that might happen right then and there. Another focus in the article published in the Mining Engineering, the focus is on the Bay Delta. The plan is a 50-year plan to build 2 exact same tunnels that are 30 miles long and would extend to the northern part of California to the southern part of California for the farmers and residents. The plan is also include to rebuild a couple wetlands and other wildlife habitats with the money. The twin tunnels will tap into Sacramento River and help be able to pump 9,000 cubic feet of water per second towards the Southern California. The alternatives will help ease the water consumption during the drought that California is going through. The drought in California has an effect on water system that the government is trying to react by placing regulations on private companies which in turn place measures on the water usage on their clientele. They're also trying to come up with alternatives to resupply the water with new focus on the Bay Delta plan, and companies creating technology to detect leaks before from being lost and hopefully use the feature of the truck. Okay, that's it. Sorry.
All right, well, the visualization that you have at the beginning where you described what you're talking about, I think is, we were going to have somebody else do the evaluation first, I'm sorry. Who was doing that? Jeremy. Oh, well, then I guess I was in good shape anyway. The visualization is, like I said, pretty effective. Even though we heard it twice, I thought it worked pretty well. The description and the language that you use, I think, is really interesting. Of course, the picture is also very dramatic, and I'm glad that you were able to get that up, because the picture of Lake Oroville, both at its higher point and its lower point, is very dramatic and indicates what the degree of problem is here, and I thought that you did a good job on that. So there's a good identification of what the purpose is. It's easy to justify, given that we all live in California and we are going through this issue together. I think that there was a preview of the structure, but it needs to be a little bit more distinct. And I think in the body of the speech, you need to highlight those points a little bit more, because you've got so much information that just tends to run together. One of the problems of the presentation is that you've got a lot of information and you're focusing on the information rather than what you want that information to tell us.
Yeah.
All right, so what you really want to tell us is we're not, dealing with a little crisis, we're dealing with a major crisis. This is how significant it is. Now here's some data that shows you how significant it is. Look at the reservoir levels here, look at these percentages. You just start giving us percentages and numbers and acre feet and all that stuff, and listening to a bunch of numbers is boring. Tell us why those numbers matter. How significant is it that we're down to a third? How long is it going to take us to get back to that? How long did it take us to get down to that in the first place? I think, the information is good, like I said, but you have to figure out why it is we're hearing this information, and that's on you to kind of explain that. And I don't think that we're getting that in the presentation. I like the visuals for the most part, except sometimes they get rushed by a little bit. The reservoir level diagrams that you had, I thought they were pretty effective. They're a little, because you have 12 of them up there, or however many there were in the different places in California, and you're just talking about the one, I don't think that people get the whole picture quite as well as they might have, and some of those could have been a little bit larger. That would be something that would help that a bit. And I think part of the issue is that the delivery is, sorry, I'm going to do it anyway, a little dry.
Yeah.
You got to put some personality into it. You got to make it. You should sound a little desperate too, a little bit worried, a little anxious about what's going on, and you want to relate to people while you're doing this, because it's coming across like it's just. Well, here's a pack of information. Not quite a brochure, but it's a lot of data, and it needs to be put together in some way to make it more personality, but also with more of a purpose. It's not just that you are delivering it in a kind of dry way, it's that the material is particularly dry also, and you need to find a way to moisten it. There you go. Solve the drought. Thank you. See, there's a good line. That would have been a perfect line. There you go. All right.